Want to improve your sales? The idea of a deal is great, but you need to get specific with the terms and conditions, the transaction value, and obviously a close date. So I'm going to tell you more about how to improve your sales by summarizing this great book by Paul Adamson. The key acronym is DEAL. That's thinking about a deal as a destination, where you're wanting to go to. E is for en route, how to actually get the deal up in the air, going in the right direction. A is approach, and that's approach to landing the deal. And L, I've given it away there, is landing. That's actually closing the deal safely. Just take a step back from sales and have a think about your customers. They'll remember you more for how you show up and how you treat them, not necessarily the deal or the product that they got. So take a moment and think, how are you engaging with your customers? Are you captivating their attention? And more importantly, are you giving them undivided focus and attention? Because the quality of relationships is key in sales. And we ultimately need to give out good vibes and good energy to be able to receive that. This book is a parable about a plane. So I'll throw in something about a plane engine needing good fuel in, and then keep needing to get energy so that it can fly. Otherwise, it doesn't land too well, does it? So we need to sustain our own energies. And by that, that's things like eating well, exercise, and thinking well, surrounding ourselves with great people. Because by being energy rich in ourselves, we'll inspire others and attract great people to ourselves, which, let's face it, life isn't just about sales. But you're going into a sale, you're wanting to learn about sales, so what you need to do is get yourself properly hyped up. You could look at various NLP techniques or use triggers like music or memories that'll make you feel unstoppable. Now, influence, there's many factors trying to impact on you. There are things like phone notifications. I'd have my phone on silent all the time, and I do. However, if I was you, I'd subscribe quickly, hit the bell button and get a notification with that. But otherwise, we want to be controlling our own speed and destination. We don't want to be trying to fly a plane with an interruption every 10 seconds. No, we want to take responsibility and influence ourselves so we can go in our own direction. So you may want to consider optimizing your habits so that you can essentially achieve what you're wanting to achieve. Because you may have heard of this concept of the reticular activated system, and that's highlighting to you what you're paying attention toward. So in essence, what we want to do is, in terms of selling, just know we are going to complete the sale. And focus on what we want rather than what we don't want. And that'll give you positive feelings. After all, focus really is related to a feeling. And consider just focus on your future rather than dwelling on any bad things that may have happened to you in the past. We need to reframe our presuppositions. I do not like that word. And we need to reframe it. Should I not like that word? It's just presuppositions after all. So perhaps it could be a good word to have. Now, what does that have to do with sales? You think, well, how will I ever hit a target? No. What do I need to do, or who do I need to become to achieve that target? And that's the key that you can get to improving your sales. Because you almost need to plan a sale like a pipeline. And if you've done any coding, you may be familiar with pipelines. It goes down like that. But that's knowing your intentions. And are you truly willing to actually serve the individual as a trusted advisor? And to do that, we must both be true to ourselves and be willing to walk away from a deal if it isn't the most competitive deal for you both. And at times, it is just purely not about sales techniques, it's about being you. And you think, well, what makes me me. It's the micro decisions that we all take on a daily basis. But have you actually taken a step back to think, how do these impact upon you? How do I fly my plane in the direction that I want? And that's by taking true ownership of yourself. Now, customers, some will love you. We call them raving fans. Some will be indifferent. We want to turn those into raving fans. And some of them will despise you anyway. We want to reduce the number of people who dislike us. But in terms of our focus with sales, you can almost churn them through, move them aside, and go to the other ones where you can influence others. And really, we need to, at times it sounds a bit false, but we need to change our personality accordingly. Because I didn't know the word personality originates from the Latin word mask. So there you go, some general knowledge from you. But the point is, you can bring the self that you believe is best for that particular situation. And if you can align yourself to somebody else's viewpoint so that they view you more as a trusted advisor, then you can think, oh, I'll guide you through the deal rather than I'm going to push this deal on you. Because as Tony Robbins has said, people tend to buy on emotions, then they justify with logic. So be flexible and be prepared to adapt, because the world's a constant changing environment, and change is the only constant, it's inevitable. And I love the saying from Paul that if you're not growing, you're dying. So we need to keep growing in ourselves, being willing to change and improve. Because we all will encounter obstacles. You'll hit a lot of no's before you get those yeses in your sales. But with some flexibility, you can turn your deals around. If you want to actually get the book, you can get it for free through Paul Adamson's website. I'll put a link in the description below. I'd also just have to shout out true love to Paul Adamson. As you're my cousin, you do not know this video is coming, but well, hope you like it. And we'll end with your saying, which is one life, live it. And there's also the opportunity to subscribe. I'll see you next time.